Misha. Today I want to talk about cholesterol. So, if you followed me at all, if you know me at all, let me turn this off because I think you guys can't hear me. It's not turning off. That's beautiful. Okay. Let me fix it another way. There we go. Just trying to fix it. There we go. I think I got it now. Yay. Okay, so I want to talk about cholesterol. It seems to be one of the biggest topics people were looking for last week in regards to their health was just cholesterol and this whole conundrum and mess about it. You guys, I want to start by telling you, everybody's going to dive right in because I'm a little late today. Cholesterol is not caused by fats, you guys. It's a lie we've been told. What's causing your cholesterol issues that's leading up to atherosclerosis and blockages in your blood vessels and whatnot is sugar. So we're going to go over that today. I want you to understand that at the root of almost every disease and disorder that we have today, it's sugar. Too much sugar that we're getting in and we're eating it too often and it's causing all kinds of problems. Now, I have notes here, but you guys, there's something I got to say right off the top here. There is a guy out there. His real name is Idris. He goes by Doctor whatever. And it's really disheartening to me because he goes out and he debunks a bunch of people on the internet. But the problem for me is, at first I was interested in what he has to say too, but what I started realizing is number one, he has a lawsuit against him or a warning against him because he wasn't disclosing that he works for Big Food in some way, that he does a lot of work for them. So of course he's going to say seed oils are good for you. Of course he's going to say sugar is not bad. Of course he's going to say things like insulin resistance isn't a real thing. So yeah, getting paid by the food industry to go out and tell people that the food that's killing us is healthy for us. Yeah, there's people that do that. And in my opinion, he's one of them. And it's just really frustrating. And he does a lot of metadata analysis, but what he doesn't tell you is that metadata is handpicked from the food companies that he's in cahoots with to tell you that it's okay. So here's 20 studies that show that this is okay. Here's 20 ways that we said it's okay because they skewed their testing. I have people who've worked in the testing field and they know that if something comes in and doesn't match that company's view, it doesn't make it out to market. So you guys be careful, even with me, be careful what you're listening to, make sure that it fits for you and move forward with what you feel is best for your life. But I'm going to tell you, it really frustrates me when anybody says our food today is not bad because why are we so much more sick? Why are so many more people struggling? Why do so many people have all of the issues that we're talking about that were undiagnosed and untreated before if our food is so amazing today? So my view is this, that our food is so toxic today, and this comes from listening to metabolic scientists and to doctors and cardiologists, endocrinologists, whatnot, who are trying to figure out the reality of their patient's health, not just trying to say, oh, here's a pill, take over, here's a whatever, take over. They're trying to figure out what's really wrong. And the ones that I've listened to all will agree that our food is causing us to be sick. Look at, we can measure our foods and see that they're less dense in nutrients. They're less dense in fiber. They're just not farmed the same way. They're not produced the same way. They've been genetically modified. And of course, it's going to cause problems with our body because our body wasn't made for all this genetic modification and stuff. And it takes a long time for the human genome to just change to address with how rapidly our food has changed. So I had to get that out of the way. So this comes back to cholesterol. You guys, you've been told that don't have fats in your diet or have a low fat diet because that's what's causing cholesterol, atherosclerosis, heart problems, all of these problems in your body. And that was something that was started by Ansel Keys over 70 years ago. And there was no scientific data. He had a supposition. He supposed that this could be a problem. And so he put it out there without any real scientific data or backing, and everybody ran with it. Now, I want to break down, before I get into cholesterol, I want to break down why this happened. We go back to Big Food. So if there's a study coming out and it says, oh, hey, fats are bad for you, Big Food is going to be like, and they were like, yay, because fats are satiating. Fats keep you feeling fuller for longer. Fats help you burn fat. Fats help you with The muscle tissue, the tissue around your muscle. Fats help you with your brain function and all of these other functions that our body needs, but they also give the food a lot of flavor. So if there's a scientist coming out or a doctor coming out and saying fats are bad for you, and the food industry can go, okay, well, if we're not giving them something super satiating and super tasty to flavor their food, we've got to flavor their food. So what did they do? They up the salt and they up the sugar. So the sugar is the real problem, because you guys, salt, if you're getting in too much salt, a little caveat, a little tip for you guys. If you're eating too much salt, you're going to know it because it's going to taste really bitter. If it's not bitter, hey, Tanis, high blood pressure is a real issue nowadays. Right, Tanis. So that's what's happening. I just did a talk yesterday on how high blood pressure is caused. 95% of it is caused by insulin resistance, which is caused by us eating so many foods that are high in sugars and whatnot. So you're right on track with that. We're going to dive into the cholesterol piece of it today, because there's some things, I'm not going to get super deep in science, but I just want you guys to understand some things about cholesterol. So here we go. We started being told that fats were bad for us, so we started ditching the fats, but they needed to flavor the food, because none of us would want to eat the food if it wasn't so delectable and delicious and tasty. So they pump up the sugar. Well, now what happens is sugar keeps you hungry. Sugar keeps you sick. Sugar keeps you wanting more food. Instead of eating something that's high in fat, olives or avocado or coconut, something that's going to make you feel satiated and full, you're eating something that gives you a short energy burst and then leaves you with a huge energy crash. And now you're sick all the time. But they're selling more food because you're going right back to all of that food to fill that gap, because now your energy is like a pinball machine going everywhere. So you go high energy after you eat, and then it dips really low, and then you want to eat again to get your energy up, and now they're making money. The bottom line is, when you're focused on carbohydrates and sugars, the big food companies are making money and you're getting sicker. So I just want you to understand that. So they've blamed fats for just about everything in our diet and in our health. But when we look at it, there's no real scientific proof for that. Now, you can overdo fats just like you can overdo sugar. So I'm not saying go out and eat, more than necessary of any of these fats in a day, but I'm telling you not to limit them, because your body needs them. Fats are not creating the cholesterol. Sugar is creating the cholesterol. Sugar is creating insulin resistance. Insulin resistance goes in your brain and says, hey, we're changing the profile of fats we're putting out, and now your LDL is going up and your triglycerides are going up and your HDL is going down, and you're starting to feel sick and you're starting to have heart problems. So let's go over all of it, because I want you to understand, hold on to this. Fats are not causing your cholesterol issue. Sugars are. There's another thing here that we're going to go over some of the medications in a minute, because those aren't even safe. You guys, part of the thing I want people to do is, whatever you choose to do, I am going to talk about a protocol that helped me with all of this for myself, but make better choices. Once you have information, just make better choices for your health. Would you rather be paying for pills every day for the rest of your life, knowing that they're making you sicker and you're not really gaining quality of life back? Or would you rather do a protocol that's real food, that's actually building your health so you can enjoy the rest of your life for less cost? I don't know. I chose the natural food route. So here we go. So the truth about cholesterol is this. The old story was, we were told that butter, eggs, and red meat cause cholesterol buildup. But the truth is this, that sugar and processed carbs cause inflammation, insulin resistance, and liver dysfunction. And all of that drives cholesterol problems. It's the sugar. It's the sugar that's causing the problem. Okay. So there's a little bit of scientific backing here. Sugar triggers fat production in the liver, de novo lipogenesis. You don't need to know the word, but there is a word for it. Science has seen that. Sugar's causing fatty liver, right? So then it creates a small, dense LDL particle. I talked a little bit about it yesterday, and these are the ones that cause plaque through a number of actions. Your LDL and your HDL, it's not just a one size fits all. There's different sizes of both high density lipoprotein and low density lipoprotein, and very low density lipoprotein. There's different sizes. So with LDL-B, where they focused on is that if your LDL is going up, you're sick and you have a problem. But it's not that simple. It's the ratio of this big buoyant type LDL particle to a small dense type particle. Now, Part of what LDL does is it goes in and it heals the blood vessels. So you have these blood vessels, and inside is this thin lining. And in the presence of a lot of sugar, it gets torn and it gets damaged and it gets inflamed. One doctor I used to work with said, think of it like this: excess sugar in your bloodstream is like glass shards, and it's creating tears and cuts that you can't see and you don't know are happening, but they're there. Now, LDL comes in and it's trying to go in and plug up these little tears and gaps and holes so your blood vessels can heal and do the job they're supposed to do. But with too much sugar in your bloodstream, not only is it changing that you're creating more LDL type B, the small, dense kind, but it's creating more tears in your blood vessels. Now the LDLB goes to those holes to try and fill them up. And instead what's happening is it's causing this buildup. It gets under the lining and it starts to build up because it's not closing the hole, because now the hole inside your blood vessel is too big, and you start to get these plaques and blockages in your bloodstream. And it all came back to sugar, not the yolks in your egg, not the fat on your steak, not the skin on your chicken, not the coconut oil or the avocado oil or the olive oil, but sugar. Okay, sugar was the problem. Now, salt, as far as salt goes, I talked yesterday about how sugar changes your kidneys functioning, and a hormone that it puts out called aldosterone that tells us when to hold on to salt and when to let go of it. It gets dysregulated because of too much sugar and too much insulin in the bloodstream. Again, it comes back to the sugar, not the salt, not the fat, but the sugar. Okay, it's causing that problem. So dietary fats do not spike your insulin. When you're having things like avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, butter, ghee, animal fats, those don't spike your insulin. Now you're allowing your body to be a little more insulin sensitive because you're not requiring as much of it. The danger is when people combine high fats and high sugars. Now you're spiking your insulin and it can't use both sources. Your body can't use both sources of energy at once. So it's storing the fat, especially around your organs, and it's using up the sugar and then storing even more of that into fat. But it only knows how to burn sugar. So when you're keeping your insulin spiked, you're not ever allowing yourself to burn fat. And I think that's important. And when you're not burning fat, it's building up. And this is part of the problem with LDL, all these things I just mentioned. So if you need to go back over this, because I'm going to go over it quickly, I will be doing some short videos, and you can watch this live on YouTube later at any point in time. Okay, so sugar drives fat storage and inflammation, and that's worsening your cholesterol levels. Just hold on to that, okay? Wow, Sarah, right? Who knew? Then there's real science behind all of this, you guys. So I'm going to give you an analogy because I love analogies. I love the sciencey stuff, but I also love analogies. It's like I have twin brains up here. So this analogy goes like this. I want you to imagine that your arteries are like a neighborhood of houses. You've got all these houses, all these streets. One day, a house catches fire. Okay. So cholesterol is the firefighters rushing in to put out the fire. Remember, I talked about these little tears in the bloodstream. So you have this city, and there's all this damage and this fires or the tears, and the cholesterol is coming in to try and repair them, right? So that's cholesterol in the vision of a firefighter. The cholesterol is coming in to fix things. It's not coming in to kill you or hurt you or do any of that. But instead of fixing the fire, the doctors are looking at the firefighters and saying, there's too many. Let's get rid of them. So that's what statin drugs do. We're going to go into a little bit about statin drugs. They lower cholesterol, but they don't stop what's causing the fire in the first place. Okay. The real problem isn't cholesterol. It's the fire or inflammation and insulin resistance that occur when you have way too much sugar in your body. That's making your body send cholesterol to the scene, and then doctors are saying, oh, cholesterol's out there trying to do the job, but we don't want cholesterol, so let's dampen it. Let's give them a drug to get that cholesterol down. Instead of understanding, hey, if they weren't eating so often, if they weren't eating so much sugars, there wouldn't be a cholesterol problem in the first place. Like, you guys, do you want to address the root cause, or do you just want to keep masking things and getting worse? Because I was on 13 different medications from doctors just masking things. And I was getting worse and worse, and my health was failing, and I didn't know that I would even live to be the age I am now. I was so sick until I started addressing my insulin resistance with a really simple protocol I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I didn't know any better. I thought my life was basically over, and it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way for you guys. It doesn't have to be that way for your loved ones or your neighbors or your friends who you know are suffering. So that's why I'm here, and I hope that you share this out so somebody else can get the news too. But look, let's talk about the drugs. So statin drugs are there to help you with the cholesterol, right? But what they're finding is that when you're on statin drugs for about 10 years, okay? So statin drugs aren't something that you go on and then you just come off. And the doctor's not telling you cut back the sugar in your diet. They're sending you to a nutritionist who's telling you sugar is fine and you cut back on the fat and all the wrong things because they were taught by a food industry that wants you hungry and sick and eating more. Now, those statin drugs in about 10 years time will start to make you more insulin resistant. And if cholesterol is an insulin resistance problem, the statin drugs are actually making the cholesterol problem worse over time, not better, because they're not addressing the root cause. And so, Rob, yeah, the system is freaking amazing. It cleared up my cholesterol problems. My A1C is in normal range. My blood sugars don't spike up into the mid to high 200s like they used to. I don't have swelling and edema. I don't have, my eyesight's not failing anymore. My teeth and gums aren't bleeding. My hair grew back in. My skin got better. My gut issues got better. I stopped losing joints. It's crazy how good your body can do when you just simply address the root cause and do it more naturally. That's the big cue. Okay. Just left MD to review labs. Louise, tell me what happened. If you want to, just message me. If you don't want to put it out here in public, message me. Let's talk about what happened with your labs. So by the way, you guys, as I get talking, as I talk about the protocol, which is just a tea in the morning, a tea in the afternoon, and a pre-meal drink that I have at some point during the day, it's healthy and it's helping people. But we have a lab marker that you can order directly from the company now for your A1C. So we have a 90-day money-back guarantee. If you do the lab test for your A1C at the beginning of your time with us, and then in 90 days you test it again and your A1C doesn't go down, you absolutely get your money back, right? If you're not happy with it, you get your money back. But we offer an in-home test now, so you don't have to make an appointment. You don't have to go do that, but it's an actual clinical lab that will do this A1C test for you. You guys ask for it. If you are starting the system and you want that marker for yourself, do that. So what? Yeah, so the numbers you guys, so Louise, Doc and NP wanted statins for me for your pre-program. What are they saying now? You've only been on this program for just not quite a month, about a month. What are they saying now? Now, Sarah, what numbers are to be normal? So I'm not a doctor. I can't, and here's the thing, to be honest, with your blood panels, it depends on the lab and the doctor what they're going to see as normal, to be honest. So what I've learned from heart doctors is that when they used to panic over your cholesterol panel being high overall, that's not the problem. We really want to pay attention to this LDL-B particle size. So I'll give you a calculation for that. So when you take a look at your cholesterol panel, Sarah, do this calculation. Take your triglycerides, divide it by your HDL, okay? Your HDL, that one should be high. And then that number is going to kind of tell us what is going on with your LDL. Now, it's not the only indicator. Just having a great number here doesn't mean that everything is absolutely safe, but it's a really good indicator. Triglycerides divided by HDL, the resulting number should be below 2. If it's above 2, you're creating too much of the LDL particle B type. You're more likely to be insulin resistant. You're more likely to have cholesterol and plaque buildups and atherosclerosis and heart problems and all of that. So it's a number that cardiovascular doctors use to kind of gauge. So you can do that number on your own with your labs. If that number is below 2, is it that your triglycerides are too high? Maybe not. Maybe it's that something, or that your cholesterol is too high. Maybe something else is going on, and you need to look at other symptoms and start to address the diet that you're eating. If your diet is high in carbohydrates, especially bagged boxed carbohydrates, you got a problem. Just know that you got a problem. We're not meant to eat like this, you guys. And I love all of the discourse out there between carnivores and vegans and all the fights. I'm not getting into all that. You guys do what you want as far as that goes, but make sure that we're keeping carbohydrates at bay. So triglycerides divided by HDL under 2 is your goal. Okay, sir. If you have those numbers, do them and let me know what they are. Okay. All right. Insulin resistance. We have to wait. Okay. They want your numbers under 200. And most doctors, Sarah, I would agree with that. But there are a lot of cardiologists who are out there saying now that that number's kind of irrelevant and we need to look at other factors. If your cholesterol panel is really high, then yeah, pay attention to it. But I want you to start with this. Understand that your cholesterol is high. Your balance of HDL, LDL is off because of excess sugar, not because of excess fat. But we're going to get into seed oils. And I'm going to talk about them right now. So statin drugs are not your answer, okay? This is coming from metabolic scientists and doctors, and people are all over, and scientific studies that are showing that statin drugs actually increase your insulin resistance over time. Not the best answer for you, right? It's just the answer that doctors have been given, so they pass it along. Not the best answer. Okay, so seed oils. The one doctor that I talked about at the beginning that I have so much disdain for, he's like the one who shall not be named. There we go. I said it. So he will tell you seed oils are really great for you. Dr. Ben Bickman, who looks at fat cells in petri dishes every day, who's trying to figure out our metabolic health, who this is what he's devoted his life to, will sell you something very different. One is a scientist who's really focused on getting people's metabolic health together, and the other is a scientist who's being paid by big food. So I'm going to let you make up your own mind there. But seed oils. When you eat seed oils, you're eating excess omega-6 fatty acids. And we should have a balance. There's like omega-3s, omega-6s, omega-9s. We don't get in enough 9s either. We don't get in enough 3s, which are like fish oils. We get in way too much omega-6s. Seed oils, things like cottonseed oil, grapeseed oil, corn oil, all of those seed oils are high in omega-6s, and we're already inundated with omega-6s. So omega-6s create oxidative stress and inflammation. So when you don't have enough omega-3s, which reduce oxidative stress and inflammation, and you have way too much omega-6s, you have a body that's inflamed. You have a body that has oxidative stress going on. Well, guess what? When your cells have oxidative stress in them, these are big words, I'll get to the analogy in a minute. But when you have all this excess oxidative stress in your cells, part of what's happening with insulin resistance is that your cells aren't taking in energy. And why wouldn't they take in energy when they're sick? Because they don't want the sickness to spread. So you have inflammation, oxidation going on in your cells, and you have all this excess energy coming in. The last thing those cells want is excess energy to feed that oxidation and cause more sickness. So they shut down. Now you're more insulin resistant because these cells are like, I got to preserve myself. We got to heal up before I can take in more energy. And the seed oils are causing more of this inflammation and oxidation within your cells. So they're shutting down to the cues from insulin to get energy into them, and they're getting sicker. Okay. That's crazy, right? That when I first learned some of this stuff, you guys, I was like, this is insane. Why has nobody ever talked about this? So they make your arteries inflamed, and that leads to more cholesterol buildup in your arteries, right? So that LDL particle B, it's causing inflammation. You already got some tears in there. You got some wounded places inside your arteries. And now this LDL-B is trying to go in and clear it up, and you're producing more of it because you're becoming more insulin resistant. And now you're creating blockages. Had everything to do with the sugar and nothing to do with the healthy fats. Extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, butter, ghee, animal fats. Okay. The rest, ditch them. I don't have them in my house, won't allow them in my house. When I get a hold of them is if I go out to a restaurant to eat. Can't help that. But I get sick almost every time now. Now that I've gotten that stuff out of my system, it shows up immediately when I have seed oils and how toxic they are for your system. So we talked about the good fats. The bad fats are canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, margarine, all of those things. If you want to lower your cholesterol naturally, you've got to cut not only the sugar, but the seed oils. You're not cutting out the yolk from your eggs. this whole eat egg whites only thing is so crazy, you guys. Yeah, the egg whites carry a lot of protein, but every time you get protein in, you need fats. The membrane that holds your muscle cells together is built up of fats. Protein goes in the muscle cell, fats build up the membrane that hold it together. You need it. Stop going low fat with everything because you're just damaging your muscle cells. Okay. So seed oils also. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of something about seed oils that I feel is important to talk about. And especially when we're talking to somebody who works for food or gets contributions from big food or whatever from big food, and they're trying to tell you that all this stuff that I'm telling you is bad is, oh, she's crazy. It's really good for you. Let's look at this. Seed oils. These oils were made as machine oils by Rockefeller. Back when the war was going on, World War II, we had this, we needed oils. World War II, World War I. At the turn of the century, Rockefeller is creating these oils because we need more and more machine oil, right? We don't have enough fossil fuel. So we make this machine oil. And he's like, well, we have all this food waste, corn cobs, all this stuff that is just laying out there rotting. What can we do with it? They drench it in a chemical called hexane that starts to pull the oils out. They compress it and they squeeze it till they can get every little last bit of oil out of it. Then they have to rinse all that hexane off. And of course, not all of it gets off. And they have to bleach it. And then it stinks so bad that you would run from the bottle if you opened it. So they fill it full of perfumes. That's the oil that you're being told is healthy for you. How did it end up on our tables? It ended up on our tables because it went from this machine oil to the war ends. Now we don't have the need for the machine oil all the time, but they still have these plants processing this oil. It has a really high flash point. Oh my goodness, you can fry in it, right? It doesn't break down. It doesn't go rancid from over frying over and over and over again. So we're going to sell it to restaurants. We're going to sell it to people as an oil that they can use for high heats, and it's really healthy for you because it comes from a healthy source, right? But they're not telling you that it's drenched in hexane and bleach and perfumes, and all of that's creating more damage inside your body. So everything that they say is healthy, you guys look at it like this. Unless it's coconut oil in a glass jar, and that's solid at room temperature, unless it's coconut oil. If your oil is coming in a light colored plastic bottle, run like the dickens, get away from it. That oil is in a clear plastic bottle because it's been through this chemical processing. It won't go rancid. Natural healthy oils will go rancid in about 6 months. So they're held in green or dark brown glass bottles to prevent oxidation and breakdown of the oil. So you need less of it than you think. I predominantly cook in butter and olive oil. I have some avocado oil here. I have coconut oil for multiple uses. Those are the oils. I never allow any other oil in my house because I'll tell you, I feel it right away when I eat them. I'm sick all night long after I've eaten a seed oil. So tell me how untoxic they are if it makes that much of a difference in my body in one day. Okay. So seed oils. Seed oil. How many of you guys think those seed oils are good for you? And it's okay. You guys get to have your thoughts. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that the seed oils that I'm talking about are fine and they don't make a difference. Put a 2 in the chat if you think you need to switch to healthier, saturated fats that are going to help your body build tissue, build strength, build in your brain. By the way, those fats are really good for your brain. Your brain has 2 sets of food source, just like the rest of your body. So you're going to have glucose for energy, or you're going to have fats for energy. And what better way to feed your brain than giving it omega-3 fatty acids? So fish oils are great. Yes. Stop. And how many of you guys would love if somebody ever told you that you could have I'm a meat eater, so that you don't have to cut all the fat off of your steak, that leaving that fat on, that gives it flavor, that gives it tenderness, that gives it its amazingness. You could leave all of that on as you cook your steak and be healthier for it. Instead of thinking, oh, I got to go buy the leanest or the leanest ground beef, and I don't do any of that. Dark cacao chocolate is freaking amazing, Sarah. So I really don't eat milk chocolate anymore at all because number one, it's just too sweet and it makes me sick. Dark chocolate has really high levels of theobromine in it. Now, theobromine helps you be more happier. So you're happier, you have more mental clarity. It doesn't spike your insulin very high. It does a lot of other great things for your body, but I focus on insulin resistance. So dark cacao chocolate is amazing for you. Absolutely. And it's one of the treats, like you can mix cottage cheese and some dark cacao and maybe some cream cheese or something and mix it up and make brownies out of that. High protein, nice and yummy, without all the fat, without all the sugars, and having a good amount of fats with the protein. There's tons of stuff you can do, and cacao is really great for that. All right, back to seed oils. So now we want to imagine that house fire again. And this time, instead of firefighters, let's focus on the fire alarm. Statins are like turning the fire alarm off instead of putting out the fire. Do you hear me? Statins are shutting the fire alarm off, but they're not putting out the fire. One more time. Statins are not putting out the fire. They're just setting the alarm off, turning it off so it's not going off all the time, okay? The fire or inflammation is still burning inside your body when you're doing statins. Because the alarm or cholesterol is silenced, you don't see the warning signs. You think, I'm good. I had this cholesterol issue. They gave me a pill. It's shutting off the alarm, so I'm good. But we didn't go in and address why the fire was there, where the spark came from, where the embers are still burning. We still have a fire going on, and nobody's addressing it. So you think you're doing good, but you're getting sicker. So eventually the house collapses because of this fire that's been going on for so long. So now you're going to think about heart attack and stroke. The statin drugs are not helping you. They're masking an issue, but they're not fixing the problem. They're actually making it worse in time. Be very careful. Have this conversation with your provider. Get some information out there. Tell them these are not, you want something different, or start the protocol that I'm talking about that's helping people all around the world with things like cholesterol and heart disease through addressing insulin resistance. So statins lower your cholesterol on paper, but they don't fix why your body is making more cholesterol in the first place. So if you've ever been told that you need statins, it's time to say no. Say no to statins, and type it in the chat for me if you've ever been. I was put on statins. I didn't know better. I trusted my doctors. I didn't know it was part of why I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker. I was on 13 medications. Statins were one of them. Hydrochlorothiazide was another one. These thiazide diuretics that are trying to get water out of you, but they're not fixing the root problem. Those things are not helping you. They're keeping you sicker longer and making you sicker quicker. So be careful with those. There is a real way to address all of this, and we're going to go over it in a minute. So lowering your cholesterol normally isn't about avoiding fats. It's about reducing sugar, fixing your insulin resistance, and avoiding inflammatory foods. Remember, seed oils are inflammatory. Okay, so avoid inflammatory foods. So foods or key steps to lower your cholesterol naturally are going to be cut your sugar and refined carbs. They're the biggest driver of high cholesterol. Eliminate seed oils and switch to more stable natural fats, like we've already talked about. Balance your blood sugar with fiber before meals. That reduces an insulin spike, reduces this problem of cholesterol creation and vessel damage. Okay, so and you want to support your metabolic health with foods that keep insulin low. Proteins don't spike your blood pressure or your blood sugar very high at all. Fats don't spike them really at all. Carbohydrates spike them. So focus on proteins and fats. Pretty simple, right? Okay, Sarah, definitely. Even a low dosage, it lowers the number significantly, but you don't take them. And the sad thing is people will see that lower a number with these drugs and feel like they're doing better, right? But again, it's not really fixing the problem. It's just prolonging that you're getting sicker and that you're making it worse over time. So an analogy for this, fix your cholesterol, is this. If you think of your bloodstream like a highway and sugar as traffic jams. Sugar, cholesterol, traffic jams. I'm going to get this through your heads. Sugar is related to cholesterol. Sugar is cholesterol. Sugar is cholesterol. Sugar is cholesterol. Fats are not causing the cholesterol. Sugar is causing your cholesterol. Okay. When you eat sugar, your traffic or your blood sugar spikes, your traffic builds up, and insulin resistance makes it even worse. Your liver starts sending out more bad cholesterol or small, dense LDL-B, like tow trucks trying to fix the mess. But because there's so much mess out there, it's just causing chaos on the freeways. Your blood vessels are getting clogged up, right? Too many trucks, too much damage. Wouldn't it be better to just start getting the damage slowed down so you don't have to send the cholesterol trucks out there to try and fix it? Cholesterol is actually there to help your body heal, you guys. It's not a bad thing until we get it out of control like this. Okay, so the tea that I drink, it's like a traffic cop. It helps clear the traffic by helping your body regulate sugar. And with better traffic flow, your liver doesn't have to send as much bad cholesterol out. Your arteries stay clear, and the tow trucks, the LDL, don't pile up and cause damage. This tea starts helping with all of that. So if you want to know more about the tea, just comment tea and I'm going to tell you where to get it. But if you want an easy way to stabilize your blood sugar, reduce your insulin resistance, and lower your inflammation, helping you with your cholesterol issue in a real way, then you just do this protocol that we're going to talk about. So it's just 2 drinks that I have at 3 key points during the day. Louise, Sarah, on this platform, listen to me for a second, but if you go to my profile, check the link. There's some red light symbols up there, and the link to get the protocol will be there. I'll flip the screen around in a minute and show you guys how to find it if you're having troubles finding it. But right under the red light symbols in my profile, you'll see a link, and that top link should take you to my landing page where you can find out about the tea. I've created a little page that describes it. There's a video in there that's about a 2 to 3 minute video that explains the whole thing in detail, plus all the written information, the cost, the guarantees, all of that, and a place to order. After you've gotten the information that you want, at the bottom of that page, if you're on your phone, is a tab that says ready to get started, and you just click on that button and you'll get to place your order. Now, when you do order, and we're going to go into the tea, I'm going to drop this first. You get 3 guarantees. You get the quality guarantee. It's tested at 3 points during the processing. Most do not do all this testing. It's got a low price guarantee. That means you get it at the same price I get it at every single time. And you get a 90-day money back guarantee. So you try it for 90 days. Please don't just do it for 30 days. Give yourself 90 days. Give yourself 90 days to see what can happen for you. Some people start to see results right away. Some people it takes a few weeks to 6 weeks to get their body starting to change and notice the goodness in it. Okay, so 90 days. If at the end of 90 days you're not satisfied, you get your money back. Okay, so just do it for 90 days. Know that what you're putting in is vitamins, minerals, and support for your body, that it's healing and doing all the good work it's always been meant to do, but hasn't had the nutrition to do it yet. This is a nutritional supplement, a nutraceutical that's helping you address insulin resistance by addressing your nutritional problems because of the food we eat. So the tea, the 2 products that I have at 3 key points in the day, this is what you get in the system. You get 2 teas and you get a pre-meal drink. And we're going to go over those right now. So the teas, they're all packaged just like this. So you can just put them in the tea, hot or cold water, and the pre-meal drink in cold water. Shake it up and you're done. And I'll show you that in a second. So the simplest way I start my day is by mixing up this tea. Instead of coffee, instead of soda, instead of any of that, the tea is highly concentrated yerba mate tea, more than 30 times more potent than any other tea on the market now in chlorogenic acids. Chlorogenic acids give you mental clarity. They help you with satiety, so you're not feeling hungry all the time. It helps with your own natural GLP-1 production. This tea can increase your own GLP-1 by up to 70%. And it's helping you be more sensitive to the sugar, meaning you can use the sugar when you do eat it more normally and get the energy into the cells that need it instead of it floating around and causing damage. So I do a little bit of intermittent fasting. I have a tea in the morning. That's what I have for breakfast. About noon, I have my first meal. I'll have another tea at some point during the day when my energy is starting to go down or my satiety, like I'm starting to have hunger. Then I'll drink another tea. Shuts the hunger down, helps me have energy without the crashes. It's helping me become more insulin sensitive, along with a whole array of other things. Plus, it has every vitamin and mineral in it needed to sustain life. One tea, the locals who pick it call it the drink of the gods because they deem it as so powerful. So that's the tea. I have it twice a day, and it comes in lemon or it comes in lemon ginger. Both of them are amazing flavors. Lemon tastes like a lemon iced tea. Lemon ginger tastes like a lemon tea that has a little bit of ginger extract in it. So there's that. Now, that's the first one. Oh, and I said it's easy, you guys. Besides all the great stuff it does for you, I'm going to go to my kids' house. So I'm going to take the tea over there because it's family game night tonight. So I just tore the top off of this. I'm going to pour it in here, and you get one of these bottles when you order your first time, by the way. So then I'm just going to do this. Okay, I just put it in cold water, and my tea's ready to drink. And now this bottle closes nice so I can take it with me. Generally, I carry it around in this because I like it in the stainless steel, but that's as easy as it is to mix up the tea. It's helping you with mental clarity and satiety and GLP-1 production, and helping your cholesterol stay low by helping your sugars stay low. So the second part of it is this fiber drink, and I will have the fiber drink now. And then we're going to go into a few other things. So statins are making the cholesterol worse. We already know that, right? But what's really happening with this is like cleaning up the mess. It's like going in and cleaning up a big spill. The big spill being sugar. So I have the wrong analogy up. There it is. This one. Okay, so if you spill a big glass of greasy cooking oil on your kitchen counter, you got to clean it up, right? So there's paper towels for that. What's the paper towel that always says Bounty? Is that Bounty? Bounty, the quicker picker upper, right? Okay. So this is acting like Bounty on your countertops. It's cleaning up stuff that you've gotten a hold of that maybe is in excess or maybe shouldn't be there. So if you try to clean up with your bare hands, it just smears around and makes a bigger mess. But if you use a sponge or that Bounty, it absorbs the grease and wipes the counter clean. So the fiber drink, this pre-meal drink, is the sponge. It's soaking up extra cholesterol and bile before your body reabsorbs it. So it's keeping LDL levels balanced more naturally. It's stopping sugar spikes before they ever happen, so your body doesn't create more cholesterol than it needs. And so if you want to understand this, that's the effect for cholesterol. The effect for insulin resistance, it reduces a blood sugar spike by up to 43%. There's soluble and insoluble fibers in this. All that means is it's a variety of fibers that are scientifically designed to help you with your metabolism with blood sugar spikes. So reducing that blood sugar spike by 43%. Some of the fibers are helping clean you out. Some of the fibers are helping gel up and expand so that you're encapsulating that sugar and slowing down how quickly it hits your bloodstream. Now you're getting sustained energy. It's like a time release capsule for that energy in the form of carbohydrates or sugar that you eat. And this is how it goes. Same thing. We're just going to find the easy tear part on this packet. I would shake it down a little bit and just tear the top off. Easy peasy, right? So this is my fiber that I'm going to have. I will have another one later when I go to my family's to eat. Although she said she made steak tonight because she knows I love steak. Okay, so we're just going to pour it in this water. Now notice this one isn't full of water. I don't want to drink that much. So on the back of the bottle, there's a mark. So this is where the balance normally mixes. I only mix it to about the tea on my unicity because I don't want to drink that much, you guys. And I shake it up about 4 or 5 times just like that. This is our berry flavor. So it has like a little tart, sweet tart berry flavor to it. And I drink it down. Now, cholesterol and sugar. See how this is all coating that bottle? That's just from shaking it. Now, when it hits my gut enzymes, that action starts to really pump up. It starts to get thicker. It starts to coat my stomach. It starts to soothe it down from acids and all of the other stuff. But it's slowing down the absorption of those sugars. Now, when we go back to food, I want you to understand something. With insulin resistance, you are not getting nutritional absorption like you should. Meaning vitamins and minerals that you think are so important are passing right through you. Your body can't absorb them in a highly insulin resistant state. So Even if you're trying to eat well and you're already insulin resistant and you haven't fixed it, you're not going to absorb nutrients like you should. This is slowing down those sugar spikes and creating more insulin sensitivity. It's also full of vitamins and minerals. So this has naturally occurring vitamins and minerals. This has one of the patented blends is a metabolic blend of vitamins and minerals. There to help support this action, but you're getting better absorption of the nutrients with these products. Okay, so not only are you slowing down the sugar spike, getting your own GLP-1 pumped up, starting to feel better and having more energy and losing weight, but you're getting better nutrient absorption. Now your rest of your body is going to thank you because it takes more than fat and sugar and protein to run a body. You do need those other nutrients, but we need to be able to get them absorbed. And in an insulin resistant body, you're not absorbing the nutrients that you think you are. And that's why when you take vitamins, your pee is yellow because you just peed them all out. Okay. So getting insulin sensitive helps with all of that. But understand, back to the beginning, the cholesterol issue, statin drugs are not fixing it. They're making it worse. The system actually helps reduce that. We've had so many people who've reversed their cholesterol issues while they're reversing their insulin resistance. And again, it has a 90-day money-back guarantee. It's simply a tea that I have twice in the day. This was my tea from this morning. There's a little bit left in there, but it's almost gone. I'll have this one because you guys, I'm a late riser. I have ADHD. I do better in the middle of the night than I do any other time of the day. So my timeline looks a little different than yours. That's the other great thing. Do I have to wake up at 6 and drink my tea because that's what the recommended thing is? No, I don't. I drink my tea the first thing when I wake up. If it's at 10 o'clock in the morning that I wake up, I have my tea. If it's at 8 o'clock, I have my tea. The other day, I had a really long trip and lots of stuff going on and hadn't really slept for days. And I ended up sleeping into, oh my God, 11:44, which was crazy. But I woke up and had my tea. I didn't have to be like, oh, I screwed up the whole day. I had this medication I had to take. I had this thing I had to do. No, I drink a tea when I wake up. I wait 16 hours after my last meal before eating again. And then I eat what I want. Today, you guys, I did. So let's talk about, we're going to switch for a second. I started talking about a 36 and 12 fast the other day. Okay. So the gentleman on Facebook, I'll have to get a hold of him, who wanted to do this. He's done a couple of 5-day fasts. I went over the 36 and 12 fast. It's the best fast for fat burning. Okay, fat burning. Cellular repair, then you kind of push it out more towards the 5-day fast. But if you're just looking for fat burning and getting your metabolism boosted up, then a 36 and 12 fast works really well. Most days of the year, I just do a 16-hour fast, an 8-hour eating window. Sometimes it's 12 and 12, but predominantly 16 fasting hours and 8 eating hours. 36 and 12 looks like this. I didn't eat yesterday. I had my last meal at about 9 p.m. on Monday night. I didn't eat yesterday. I just had the tea a couple of times in the day, and I had water. So what happens with that is now it's allowing the insulin to come down. It's allowing the other component, glucagon, to come out. It's allowing me to get into a fat burning state because insulin, when insulin is present in your body, it does not like you to burn fat. Insulin wants to hold on to everything and hoard it. So why I do this 36 and 12 fast is 2 reasons. Yes, I have some extra weight. Yes, I have some ADHD. I feel more in control when I can simply say, you're not eating today, you're eating tomorrow. You can have whatever you want tomorrow. So you know what I broke my fast with? This isn't the perfect way, you guys, but something came up and, oh, I know, it was a video where a guy gave his buddy from Australia biscuits and gravy, Southern biscuits and gravy for the first time, and the guy loved them. And I'm like, I used to make biscuits and gravy in our little hometown restaurant bar thing that I worked at while I was married lifetimes ago. It's like, I really want biscuits and gravy. So guess what I had at 2:30 today for my break fast? Biscuits and gravy. Do I have to worry about a glucose spike? No, because I have this that helps reduce that spike. Do I want to do it every day? No, I don't. We're going to go have steak and some salad and some kind of yummy vegetable tonight, and that will be my dinner. So That's a pretty good balance. Now, on my 12-hour eating days, I could eat 3 meals. If I'm still hungry when I get home from my families and I want to try and get some more protein in, maybe I'll have a protein shake. Maybe I'll do whatever to get my protein count up for the day because I didn't eat yesterday. I'm not going to eat tomorrow. What's happening is I'm just setting myself up to this place in where my body is putting out more ketones and allowing me to burn more fat for fuel. So, report back from yesterday. I was pretty hungry. I kept thinking about food all day. I just kept drinking my tea and it wasn't unbearable. The tea helped me just be like, okay, fine, I'm going to stay busy. I'm going to get through this. Some of the things physiologically I noticed, and I'm going to bring this up because I believe in full transparency. I have not been great with my diet lately. I know all the stuff. I'm human. I get stressed. I get whatever, just like everyone else, and I haven't been doing perfectly with my diet. When I woke up yesterday, my ketones were only at 0.2, which is an average ketone. But if you're insulin sensitive, as you fast through a 36-hour day, your ketones will come up closer to 0.5 or 1 during the day. If you're insulin resistant, it's going to take a lot longer for those ketone levels to go up. Ketones are telling me my insulin is down. Okay. Glucose can spike whether you have insulin high amounts or not, because you have a hormone that's creating you to burn fat and create energy in your system. So yesterday it was interesting to me. By the end of the day, I was at 0.5 on my ketones, which was great, meaning I'm still more insulin sensitive than I used to be, but I would have preferred to see them bump up to like 1. So maybe the diet that I've been eating with more carbohydrates has not been benefiting me, and I need to get that under control. 36 and 12 fast really helps me with that. So I'm going to keep documenting those things, my weight, my numbers, how I feel, and I will keep reporting back to you guys. Now, if anybody wants to join me in doing this 36 and 12 fast, please let me know. If you've never done it before, maybe just do it once a week until you feel okay with it, and then you can do it every other day like I'm doing it. Or there's another guy who's a doctor who does it, and he just does it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then takes the weekend off and has what he wants to eat during those times. This is not I can only have 2 meals on my eating day, because I'm still making up the nutrition that I should have in the entire week. I want my vitamins and minerals up. I want my protein count up. I want my fats up. My carbohydrates, I'm not as concerned with. I'm not counting calories. I'm hitting markers for protein and nutrients, and that's all I care about on my eating day. If I'm having stuff that I love more, like biscuits and gravy, I can have that. I just want to make sure at the end of the day today, I've had about 150 grams of protein in. And if I'm getting in the protein first, there's less room to crave the other stuff. Hint, 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 hint. Eat protein first. It's the most satiating food that could be on your plate. And when you eat your protein first, your blood sugar spikes far less throughout the meal than if you have the carbohydrates first. Considering doing it as a 40-hour. And you can do that, Tanya Lee. So if you want to do, so mine is a 36 and 12. So yours would be a 40 and 8, right? So I woke up earlier. I could have ate earlier, but I really wanted to wait for the biscuits and gravy, and I didn't have the stuff, so I had to run to the store and make the stuff and whatever. So I didn't eat until about 2:30. I was fine. So at 2:30, I was well over 40 hours of fasting, right? So 9 o'clock last night was 24 hours. 9 o'clock this morning was 36 hours. So then we go 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So I was at 41 hours of fasting before I ate today. Was I suffering? No. Was I weak? No. Did I have more mental clarity and energy? Yeah. You guys, and understand too that this is a great time to allow your body to start getting some of the stuff out of your intestines so that less inflammation is happening there as well. You're going to keep pooping for days after you stop eating because your intestines have to clean out. Okay. Enough that. Tanya, if you want to just like team up with me and tell me what days you're doing it and text me for support, I'd love to support you through the 36 and 12, because you guys, here's the thing. I don't want to sound defeatist. I have every damn intention of making it through 30 days of doing this 36 and 12, which means I won't stop until the 18th of April. But I'm human, okay? So I need support too. Cheer me on. let me get through this 36 and 12. You guys, what will happen as this time goes on and the further you get into the fast, you will start to notice your heart heals up, your liver heals up, your kidneys start clearing out, your skin starts feeling better, you start sleeping better, you have less sleep disturbances, you have less acne and all of that going on, and your mental clarity shoots through the roof, and you're starting to drop fat, not muscle. By the way, it's untrue that your body's going to eat up your muscle when you're fasting. That's There's so many big lies. You guys, I'm using that tagline a lot. The biggest lie you've been told. You don't need to count calories, and fasting is not eating up your muscle. If you have fat on your body, if you have cells that need to be turned over on your body, why would your body, this beautiful, innate thing that just wants to preserve itself and wants to do well, why would it destroy itself over a few hours of not having food in it, especially when there's fat and other cells that need to go? Your body's pretty damn smart. It's going to start burning up that fat for fuel, okay? But this is why I focus on nutrients in my 12 hours. I'm not fasting and then restricting myself on the 12 hours. I'm fasting and then I'm having the foods that I love, as well as healthy foods along the way in the 12 hours, so that I'm giving the building blocks to my body so that it doesn't have to lose muscle, so that it doesn't have to do any of that. If you're starving your body of energy and nutrients, yeah, you're going to start to lose tissue that you want. So don't do that. That's why the 36 and 12 fast is amazing. You get the benefits of fat burning. And by the time that fat burning really kind of caps out, and you need more energy, then you're back to having a 12-hour eating day where you focus on proteins and fats. And if you want carbohydrates, you can have them. There was a study done on this type of fasting, and even people who are eating burgers and pizza in their 12 hours lost weight and felt healthier after their 30 days of a 36 and 12 fast. Now, how I do it with the protocol is like this. I will mix up my tea in the morning. I'll mix up 2 in here, and I carry it around and sip on it all day. I will have another one mixed up, or I just mix another one up at the point of the day where I want it. I focus on water and tea for the day. If my stomach is really acidic, I will have the pre-meal drink, because it doesn't break my fast either. It actually helps ketones come out more when I'm in a fasted state. So I still absolutely use the nutrients from the protocol while I'm doing a longer fast. It supports my body. It makes me feel healthier and cleaner, and just all around, I know that everything is functioning better when I do that. But I'm not talking about a water fast. That's really hard for many people to do. This is giving me something to sip on. It tastes great, so I can have it. If I want to put a little bit of a stevia sweetener in it to create a different flavor, I could do that. But I try to be careful with that during my fasting window. So I have 2 to 4 of these teas in a day on my fasting day, and I have 1 to 2 of these a day on my fasting day to help me get deeper into the fast and the benefits of the fast. Then when I eat, I still wake up and have my tea, because it still is giving me nutrients and components that my body needs in a really clean format. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then, like you just saw me have one of these. I had one before the biscuits and gravy. I'll be taking a bottle like this to my kids' house, and I'll have it before the steak dinner. So that means I'll have had 3 of these today. Is it going to hurt me? Absolutely not. It will help my gut. It will help me feed the good gut microbiome. It will help me slow down sugars. And there's newer studies on fiber that show that this can stay active. Fiber can stay active in your system 4 to 5 hours after you've drank it. So I drank one now. When we have dinner, we're going to have family game night. We'll probably have some treats. I'll just have another one to cover that sugar. And that's it. So my day is the same whether I'm fasting or not. It's just whether I'm eating food or not. I still drink the tea twice a day at minimum on my fasting days. I still have 1 of the fiber on my fasting days. That supports my fast in helping the ketones get out and do their job and gives me nutrients, because again, I don't want to put my body in a state where I'm nutrient deficient. When you're doing OMAD, when you're doing a number of those things, it's really difficult to get in the nutrients you need in that one meal every other day or every day. So I would rather do 3 big meals every other day than this. Never checked your ketones, thought you don't have ketones unless you eat almost no carbs. No, you always have some ketones. I don't know if I have here's my ketone monitor. So it's just like a blood sugar monitor, okay? For the diabetics. I don't know, I'm a goofball. Um, so the sugars mark where your sugars are at any given time, right? Generally, your sugars will spike about their highest about 2 hours after you eat. Your sugars will go up and down even when you're fasting because your body is self-regulating, making sure energy is still getting to your system. How is it doing it? When insulin comes down and your body's able to burn fat for fuel, that fat is what's being burnt as energy and can make your blood sugar level go up. Your body has a different avenue to get that energy in than just insulin. So even though your sugars go up in a fasting window, it's just this, your body will drop down to maybe like mine did it to about 60 on my blood sugars. And then at that point, my body's like, okay, time for some more energy. Let's do something. She's not eating, so we got to do something. So glucagon in my body at that point is then burning up fat, sending out ketones to tell me to burn fat, raising my blood sugar by giving energy back into my bloodstream. And so blood sugar monitors are great, but if you really want to know if you're keeping your insulin down, you can't just go by a blood sugar. Okay. So that's why I do ketones. And I've had this talk with Dr. Bickman, and like just posited my theories and said, am I on track? And he was like, you're absolutely on track. So I feel good with that. Now, what I do is knowing that ketones will be minimally present, maybe about zero point 0.2, even when you're eating or if you have high insulin resistance. But as you stop eating, Louise, your ketones start to go up. So after about 24 hours of not eating, my ketones were now at 0.5. As the ketones are going up, that means that your insulin is staying down. When my ketones start going down, that means that I've done something to spike my insulin up. So I use the ketone monitor when I'm doing fasting to make sure that I'm staying in a fasting state, even when I'm drinking the tea. And so this is actually how we found out that the fiber is working for the fasting. I check it more with an extended fast than with a 16/8 fast. Yes. But because I've been interested in the 36 and 12 fast and interested in where my body is, I started doing the ketone testing on my 36-hour day because I just kind of want to have a metric to how much this 36 and 12 fast for 1 month is doing for me. If my ketones get higher quicker, not like extremely high, that's a whole other end of the problem of insulin resistance. But if I can get a good amount of ketones in my body in about a 12 to 16-hour fast after doing the 36 and 12, amazing, right? That's where we want to be. But if in a 16-hour fast, my ketones are staying at 0.2, that means that even though all other things are looking good, I'm still starting to have an insulin resistant, glucagon resistant issue. It's a lot of information, but Louise, reach out to me because you're working with me and we'll help you through this if you want to do something like this. This monitor, by the way, KB, is called KetoSense. I got it on Amazon. You can get it in one that reads either your blood sugars or your ketones. So I just got the ketone one. The blood sugar ketone one, so it measures either or, is a little more expensive, and that's okay. Get whichever one you feel like you need to see and use. I have a watch, which I need to charge, that I check my blood pressure and my blood sugars on, and I've used the watch at a medical facility when they were drawing labs, and I wrote down my numbers from the watch, and then when the numbers came in from the labs, they were so close, minimally different, that I was like, okay, this watch is working well enough for what I'm doing, right? well enough for what I'm doing. It's telling me if I'm spiking my blood sugars too high. It's telling me if my heart rate's getting too high. Those are the biggest things I use it for. And then it counts your steps too. But those are a couple of the tools that I use. Okay. So ketones if I'm fasting to make sure that I'm getting ketones bumped out, and the watch daily just to kind of monitor without a continuous glucose monitor, more than just my blood sugar, but like my blood pressure, my heart rate, all of that stuff. These are under $100 on Amazon. And this is like $50 on Amazon, somewhere in there. But those are the two things that I use in my journey to help me along the way. If you guys are interested in it, reach out to me. I don't make commissions on that, but I just want to help you guys. I hope all of that makes sense. I know that I ramble. I know that sometimes my brain has so much in it that I just go, oh, squirrel, and I'm off over there. And then, oh, another squirrel, and I'm off over there. Appreciate you guys putting up with me. I'm going to head out and go see my beautiful, amazing little grandson, you guys. That boy. I took him on the trip with us this weekend, and he just is such a sweet, loving, caring boy. He's feisty, he's fiery, and he's just my whole world. So I'm going to go spend time with him, play some games, give him some time, give him some Nana love, and I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Not sure what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but if there's anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to dive into and answer for you, please just message me and let me know. Then I will make sure that I talk about that the next day. And if I need to go do some more research to be able to talk about it, I sure will, because that's what I thrive on. Okay, you guys. So cholesterol, get off the statin drugs. They're making it worse. This protocol actually can help you by building strength in your body, by getting you more insulin sensitive. Fats, the healthy fats, are not creating your cholesterol issue. Sugar is creating your cholesterol issue. This addresses the sugar problem and thereby starts helping with your cholesterol problem. I've had tons and tons of people do it. Just use the link in my bio. I'm going to drop it over on YouTube and Facebook. And I know I'm a little bit behind on getting to messages. I've had so many coming through. I'm trying to catch up. You guys, I apologize to anybody I haven't answered yet, but I will get to you, I promise. And let's just get you guys healthy. Listen to me for a while. Listen to me for a long while if you need to. And when you're ready, I'll be here to help you as much as I can in getting your life back and feeling healthy like you always should have in the first place anyway. Love you all. I'm going to go spend time with family. Have a blessed night. Thank you.